Hello Year 7. In our subsequent lessons we are going to be painting in all of our flora and fauna and our animals in the foreground of our painting. So our aim today is to observe from our research. You will notice that I have my research here of my flora and fauna, and I want to paint in the colours of my flora and fauna just as a base layer. And just as we did with our specimen drawings, we are going to refine these with colour pencils in our lessons once this is completely dried. So I'm going to show you now how we're going to paint in all of these elements, and then we're going to allow it to completely dry before we do anything further to it. So you can see here I've got my palette and I've got my watercolours here ready. Now what I've decided to do is I'm going to not go for millions of different colours. I do want it to be very colourful, but I also don't want it to look too disjointed. So I'm going to decide upon a colour palette, and I've got eucalyptus here on my left, and I've got some of these sort of English flowers here. So I want to go for a sort of sagey green because I've already got a green in the background. So that's what I'm choosing to do. Obviously you might want to choose different colours, and I'm going to have some nice bright pinky purple tones, and I'm also going to have some orange tones, which you can see I've got in these specimens down here. And the last colour I'm going to have is a sort of purple tone, which will be something I use on my lavender, and I will incorporate into my Proteus here. So I just want it to be balanced, and it might be worth you thinking about how you're going to balance your colours without just painting them all different colours and making it look really quite riotous. So it's really important just to think about what you're going to use and where before you start. So you can see here I'm just mixing up some colours. This is where you're going to really need to use your knowledge of your colour mixing from term 1. So you might want to get your sketchbook out and have your colour wheels out in front of you while you're mixing, so you know which colours to mix with what and how you can adjust your hues and use tertiary colours. So for example, if I add a little bit of red into my orange, I can make that a redder orange rather than just having it the orange which is out of the palette. Okay, so do consider your colour palette before you get started. You can of course use white if you want to pastelise your colours. So if I want to pastelise this green, I can do that, but remember, if you just want to lighten your colours, you just need to use water. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just give you a quick slow demonstration on how I'm going to approach this rose up here in the top of my painting. Now I am painting from the top, hopefully for obvious reasons, but if it hasn't occurred to you, I'm painting from the top because what I would like to do is not smudge my work. So I'm just going to put in a light layer where all my rose petals come, and then I can go back over this later with another layer of paint to add in a little bit more detail as and when I need it, and once this layer has dried. So I'm just following the direction of the rose itself, and you can see I'm just leaving some little white areas in there which can be filled later. So again, just want to point out the importance of having not too much paint on your brush. Remember, you've mixed it into your palette, so if you need more, it's just there to take, but you don't need to have loads and loads of paint on your brush because that's where accidents will just happen. Okay, so I've followed the shape and I'm just filling in really neatly. Now I will continue with this.